Hello, welcome back to the Boardgames 4K YouTube channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and we generally talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video we're going to be continuing our countdown of our top 100 games of all time, and this is going to be number 30 down to 21. And yeah, let's get on with this list. What's the point in waiting around, eh? Boardgames 4K. So number 30 on this list is an absolute classic game. We still love this game. It was first released in 1995 by a guy called Klaus Tuba, and it's Catan, and we still love this game today. It essentially sees you sort of rolling a couple of dice, getting some resources, trading those resources in for roads, settlements and cities, and the first person to get 10 victory points is the winner of Catan. People slag this game off now because I don't know, there's some sort of hate campaign against this game. It's like the sort of modern equivalent of Monopoly, but that's a load of old rubbish. Catan is still one of our favourite games of all time. We love it. We love the random element of this. A lot of people decry the random die roll in Catan, but we love that because it adds an element of uncertainty into the mix. And we love the trading aspect of this game, where you can basically sort of try and con people into buying resources that they don't necessarily want, right? We love Catan. You should love it. It's on our list. It's our number 30. So number 29 on this list is a game with a theme that by rights shouldn't be very popular, because the theme in reality isn't very popular, and it's Domeki. It's a game that is based on the elections in Germany, and everybody takes on the role of a political party, trying to influence not only the national opinion but also the local opinion, and you'll be trying to sort of play cards that sort of match the zeitgeist that's around them at the moment. So you might have a sort of, I don't know, genetic engineering. You might have a join the euro currency and all that sort of stuff. It is a long game. It's a sort of got a reputation for being a complex game. But once you get the rules into your head and you've done a few turns, then it is actually really quite simple. It's just got a new edition. It was done on Kickstarter earlier this year. So if you do get a chance to play Domeki, don't be scared. It's a wonderful game. So number 28 on this list is a game by Bruno Cathala. It's the granddaddy of hidden traitor games. It's Shadows over Camelot, and this one broke new ground. It was one of Days of Wonder's most seminal achievements. The component quality is absolutely fantastic. It's colourful, it's got beautiful artwork, and it's one of not the first hidden traitor game, but it's the hidden traitor game that everybody remembers, that sort of laid the groundwork for further development in this genre, like for games like Battlestar Galactica and subsequent games like Dark Moon and The Resistance. So Shadows over Camelot, a wonderful game. It plays up to 7. It's got an expansion that's coming out of print, so if you've got a copy for sale, let us know, because we haven't got it. And yeah, that's Shadows over Camelot. It's our 28. So 27 on this list is a game by Christoph Bollinger, and it was a few years ago our number 1 game of all time. It's dropped down the list because we don't play it as often as we used to, but it's still a fantastic, wonderful game. It's Archipelago, and what this game sees you doing, it takes a tried and tested formula of going out into the new world, trying to settle and colonise, trying to gather resources to build and exert your influence on. It's a mixture of a lot of other games. It's got elements of Catan in it. It's got elements of other Euro games where you've got different personalities that you can sort of purchase to sort of give you game-breaking abilities. But the thing that separated this from other games at the time is it's sort of semi-cooperative. So everybody's got a personal goal that they need to try and complete, but there's also a universal goal that you need to try and complete. And we love Archipelago. It looks absolutely stunning even today. It does have some questionable theming. This has been spoken to at length on places like Board Game Geek. So if you want to get into all that political nonsense, then please go and have a look there. But Archipelago is still a fantastic game. So number 26 on this list is a game. It's a racing game. It's a currently out of print. Very difficult to find this one, and it's Ave Caesar. So this game, everybody's given a deck of cards with numbers from 1 to 6 on, and everybody will choose a card from their hand, play a card, and then move their chariot forward. It's that simple. But the thing about this is everyone's given a coin, and there's a little thing called Caesar's Alley, and everybody at least once in a game has to visit Caesar's Alley and then lob their coin at Caesar and shout Ave Caesar. And if you don't do that, then you can't win the game. This game is one of the most simplest racing games available. It is one of the most exciting racing games available, because the draw and play mechanic ensures that everybody is going to be bunched up towards the end, and there's sort of choke points on the board where you can block other players, and if you're in the lead you can't play a 6 card, so that's another thing you've got to be worried about. So we do think that Ave Caesar is one of our favourite racing games of all time. It's way up there. It's simple, it's effective, and you should play it. So number 25 on this list is a game by one of our favourite designers of all time. It's a game by Paolo Mori, the guy who done Dogs of War. He done Augustus and he done Libertalia and loads of other games that we really like. This game is Ethnos, and this game came out of nowhere. It's basically a faction-based game where you'll be playing cards to get sets, and then you'll trade the sets in to do certain things associated with each faction that will allow you to get victory points. And whilst this game got slagged off for being really ugly, we don't think so. We think it's really good. But the simple mechanics, just, you either take a card from the display or you play certain sets of cards. It is genius. It's got so many different factions in it. It's aching for an expansion. Come on, Paolo, where the bloody hell are you? Get that expansion out. But Ethnos is a wonderful area control card hand drafting management game that you really should consider playing today. So number 23 on this list is one of our favourite worker placement games of all time. It's Calais. We've just done a review and a playthrough of this one. So if you want to go and see how it plays, go and have a look at that one. But this essentially is a worker placement game where you'll be placing workers out onto the board to take various actions. You'll be trying to build the castle. You'll be trying to get resources that will allow you to build buildings. It's a mind-bending puzzle. It's not as complicated as a lot of people would have you believe, and it's just got a reprint. I think it's called Calais 1303, so there's no excuse not to dip your foot into the waters of Calais this Christmas, right? So number 23 on this list is a game that was released a few years ago as an antidote to the bloat of Arkham Horror, and it's Eldritch Horror. And whilst when it was first released, this game got criticised for being light on content, it's now one of the biggest games that we've got in our collection. We've got 1, 2, 3. There's 4 main boxes, and I think there's another 4 mini boxes. It's sort of eaten itself alive. It promised to be a slimmed down version of Arkham Horror, and it's turned into a sort of a Cthulhu-sized beast. But what it sees you doing is you take on a role of these Arkham-style investigators going around the world trying to gather clues, not real clues, but just sort of clue tokens to sort of trade in to try and defeat monsters that are sort of setting up. And it's a sort of a card location-based scenario. It's really sort of it's an Ameritrash game where anything can happen. It reminds us a little bit of Tales of the Arabian Nights in that sort of sense, where you draw cards, read the text, and something happens to you. A random thing happens, but it's such good fun. Rules are a little bit clunky, not really that much to do. A lot of the time you're sort of thinking, well, I'll just take a ticket or whatever. But for sheer grandiose and immersive gameplay, Eldritch Horror is really a game that you should play today. So number 22 on this list is a game that also promised to be a slimmed down version of another game. This game promised to be a slimmed down version of Twilight Imperium, but it's sort of eventually turned out to be a game that rivaled Twilight Imperium. It's Eclipse, and this is on our list because it promises to play in 2.5 hours, but obviously with the expansions it takes a lot longer. But it marries the economic values of Euro games and pushes it into the miniature-laden feast of Ameritrash games, and it succeeds. It's essentially an economic simulator where you'll be sort of trying to increase your income to build more fleets and improve your tech and all that sort of thing and get victory points. It's got a lot of random elements. The combat is a bit random, but it's still a wonderful game. You really should play Eclipse. It's just got a second edition. We're not going to bother with that because we've got the first edition with all the expansions chucked in. We can mix and match as much as we want. It's never going to play the same. And Eclipse, forget Twilight Imperium if you haven't got time for that. This is a wonderful game in its own right, and it plays in, say, 3 hours tops. Yeah, so that's Eclipse. So number 21 on this list is the granddaddy of area control games. This game is El Grande, and essentially what you're doing is it's a cube pusher. It looks dated, right, but it's made in 1996, so you'll be gaining influence in different regions by placing your caballeros or your cubes out into the board. You've got a bigger cube called a Grande, and you've also got this sort of tower thing that you'll be putting cubes into called a Castillo, right? You'll be putting stuff in there, and you'll be playing cards that will tell you how many caballeros you can put in each region, and then you'll be trying to gain control of different areas, ready for the different scoring phases that occur in phase 3, phase 6, I think it is, at the end of the game. So you've also got that added mystique about what's in the tower. You've got to try and remember what's in the tower. And this game laid the groundwork for other area and control games like Chaos in the Old World, Blood Rage and all that sort of stuff. If this game hadn't been made, you wouldn't see those wonderful, more complex area control games that are available to you today. So we applaud the designer, Wolfgang somebody or other, I think it is, for creating El Grande. We still play it today, 20 odd years after it was released, and it's a wonderful game. That's El Grande. So there you go. I think that's the next 10 games. I think I might have messed my list up, but I think that's number 30 down to 21. We're going to continue this as and when we got time to do it. I think over the next couple of days you might see the next one. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below if you made it this far. Give us a thumbs up and we'll see you next time.